Assalamu alaikum and welcome. Dear students, you know that the Muslims in the early days of Islam had to face many hardships for preaching the message of Allah and supporting the cause of Islam. They were constantly tortured and tormented by the pagan Arab chiefs and the idol worshippers. But these devout Muslims remained undaunted and kept on preaching the oneness of Allah. Muslim women of the time were no less fearless in supporting the new faith. One such lady who played an exemplary role was Hazrat Asma Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anha. In today's unit, we are going to look at Hazrat Asma Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anha's daring personality and the remarkable services she rendered for Islam and the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But first thing first, let me ask you what you already know about Hazrat Asma Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anha.
Sir, Hazrat Asma Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anha was the daughter of Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu and the stepsister of Hazrat Aisha Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anha.
And sir, she was the mother of Hazrat Abdullah bin Zubair Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu.
You're right, but she is primarily remembered for her incredible role during the Muslims' migration from Mecca to Medina. She prepared the food for this perilous and tiresome journey. She also delivered food to her father and the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam while they stayed in the cave of Thor. This was not easy. The cave was located among the rugged hills that were outside the city of Mecca. Every night, she would deliver the food to them. She had to be very cautious, as the Arab chiefs were very furious at the Prophet's disappearance, and they were constantly on the lookout for him. The chiefs had offered huge rewards and bounties for the Prophet's capture, dead or alive. In short, this brave lady endangered her life for the cause of Islam.
And sir, it says in the lesson that once Abu Jahl slapped her face very hard for not telling him about the whereabouts of her father.
Yes, that was on the night of migration, when Abu Jahl was madly searching for Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu. He wrathfully knocked at the door and inquired from Hazrat Asma Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anha about her father. She calmly replied, "How would I know?" This angered Abu Jahl more than anything, and he slapped her. This tells us how courageously she faced the situation and did not reveal the secret. It also shows how wisely she evaded the question.
Sir, why was she called Zatun Nitaqain?
Well, Zatun Nitaqain literally means the lady of the two strings. The title was given to her by the Prophet himself for a little improvisation that she made during her ordeal of packing food for the migration. She wanted to tie the food to the camelback, but she couldn't find anything. Since time was short, she tore her sash band into two halves and used them for tying the food.
Sir, what is a sash band?
You may think of it as a piece of cloth worn about the waist as a belt.
So, she quickly solved the problem by using her intelligence.
Yes, in fact, she is also known for her intelligence. Can you cite any event from the lesson that proves her wisdom?
Yes, sir. Once her grandfather, Hazrat Abu Quhafa, was worried that his son Abu Bakr had taken all the money with him and had left the family nothing at all. She wisely satisfied her grandfather with a little harmless trick. Since her grandfather was blind, she hid some pebbles under a cloth and placed them where her father would usually keep the wealth. This made the old man believe that his son had left a lot of jewels for the family, and his concerns were immediately removed.
Excellent. This definitely proves her wisdom, but it also reveals another aspect of her personality. She had complete faith in her father's cause and didn't care about what he had left for them. In fact, like her father, she was very generous and never believed in storing wealth. That's why nobody ever returned empty-handed from her doorstep. She even sold the garden she inherited after the death of her sister, Hazrat Aisha Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anha, and distributed this money among the poor and the needy. Well, that sums up the unit, I believe. Now, do you have any questions?
Sir, one of the exercises deals with stress and intonation. Could you please explain these terms a little?
Sure, but first we'll have to understand the concept of syllables. Do you know what a syllable means?
I can tell you how many syllables a word has in it, but I don't know how to define it.
Well, we use airstream from our lungs to pronounce words. Since this airstream doesn't flow continuously, we break it down into parts. Each part is called one chest pulse. A syllable is a word or a part of a word that is uttered in one chest pulse. But you don't have to memorize the definition. If you understand the concept, that's enough. Now, look at the word on the screen and tell me how many syllables it has.
Sir, it has 3 syllables. Companion.
Good. And how about this word?
Accomplishment. 4.
Good. Now, when we utter these syllables, all the syllables do not get the equal force or energy. We utter some syllables with more than usual force, and these syllables are called stressed ones. For example, when we pronounce the word appear, we utter the first syllable with much less force than the second one. So we might say that in the word appear, the second syllable is stressed. We may represent this information visually as. However, most dictionaries represent a stressed syllable with an apostrophe. For example, now look at the following words and read them after me. Remember to pronounce the stressed syllable with more than usual force. Announcement, English, secretary, adventure, abbreviation, personality, instantly, alleviate, apricot, response.
Sir, how important is stress in a word?
Well, it's very important. A misplaced stress may alter the meaning of the word and you may be misunderstood. Sometimes, a word may have different stress pattern for a different part of speech. For example, look at the following pair of sentences. The teacher forgot to bring the register. I want you to register my name for the event. We must cross the desert on camelback. You should not desert your friend in trouble.
That's very interesting and informative. Now could you tell us what intonation means?
Intonation means rise and fall of the tone. When we speak a sentence, our tone varies to communicate various shades of meaning. For example, you can read the following sentence in various ways. Note how meaning changes with a different tone pattern. They helped her. They helped her. They helped her.
Does this mean that stress applies on individual word where intonation applies on the whole sentence?
Exactly.
How can we improve our stress and intonation?
Well, it mainly comes through practice. You need to fine-tune your ears to discern these patterns when they are used in natural speech. So next time you listen to a native speaker speaking English, pay attention to both stress and intonation in order to improve your own pronunciation and expression.